Good evening, welcome back to We're Not Really Here, full-time in Portugal, and it does mean that Manchester City are out of the Champions League. Lyon 3, Manchester City 1, not the result any of us wanted, and it would appear there was a bit of food poisoning in the starter, boys, so we won't get to the main course or dessert, unfortunately. Joining me to dissect that game, we've got Shaun Wright-Phillips, Richard Dunne and Kyle Walker. Richard, it felt like we kind of found ourselves within that second half, but then it kind of played out and it's just not the result that we wanted.
Yeah, it's difficult once you go a goal behind and you're chasing the equaliser and you're chasing them to go and win the game. You leave yourself open up a little bit. And we've seen Lyon against Juventus. They were experts in sitting back and waiting for the chance to break. And they done it again tonight. And they had that bit of luck, which we didn't.
Sean, when we did equalise, when we got that goal back, it felt like there was some genuine hope. There was excitement, definitely here at the CFA, and then it completely changed. And those last 10 minutes, Manchester City were working hard to claw it back once again, and it just wasn't meant to be.
It's exactly like Dunne said. Even though it was 1-1, they didn't change their tactics. They just waited and waited, and the chance came again, and they managed to take that as well, which was a bit unlucky for us, but that's the way football is in the Champions League.
We spoke about at half-time that it felt like the formation and the tactics that we'd started with maybe didn't feel quite right. We got kind of 7-8 minutes into the second half and soon saw that substitution where Mahrez came on from Fernandinho, and that really changed the shape of City, but also it looked like the City we've been seeing all season, Richard.
It did, yeah, and it looked normal again. Yeah. It looked like it was enjoyable to watch. You're getting forward, you're trying to create opportunities, and to be fair to Lyon, they defended really well. You know, there was a lot of passing, a lot of movement from the front players of City, but not a lot of opportunities to score goals. And the one thing, when we talked before the game about 3-5-2, why is he playing that formation? And as soon as we went to 4, you could see then Lyon's opportunities attacking and why the manager decided to start with the 3 defenders. And obviously we opened up a little bit, gave them the opportunity to attack us a bit.
We did. Now, Sean, it must be difficult for the players because they've worked so hard since the restart. Even the 3 months where we didn't have any football, all gearing up for the Champions League. And here we are, quarter-finals, getting beat 3-1 to Lyon. They might seem negative now, they might feel gutted and absolutely disappointed, but we know that next season they'll come back with a fire in the belly wanting to go again.
Well, that's exactly what they have to do. There's always ups and downs in football, and this was one of the downs. So now next season they have to prepare themselves for a very long season and come out firing on all cylinders. Sorry.
I know that it's said all the time, but Pep's kind of been one to really hammer it home that it is a game of fine margins, and in particular when it comes to the Champions League, those fine margins are even more bigger and more amplified. And it was just on case tonight, wasn't it, Richard? Because on another night, you know, if the goal goes in before their second, or we then find that even maybe we go 2-1 ahead, it's a whole different game.
Well, that's it, and that's why they say in these big games the first goal is so important, because it gives you better opportunities. But you look, there's so many crosses coming into the box and their goalkeeper flapping on it, but not one of them dropped to our player. You know, it never dropped for us to get a goal, and it is like that. If you don't get the luck, you don't get the win.
Now, I'm just scrolling across social, and Micah Richards has tweeted, well, during the game, the last few minutes, genuinely feel sick. And I feel that speaks for every single Man City fan, anyone connected to the club. But going again next season, we really have to use this, Sean. And actually, we've got so many different competitions. We've got such a great squad, such a great manager as well. It's not happened for us in the Champions League, the FA Cup or the Premier League this season. But there is still positives to take away from it. The performances we've seen, the League Cup win as well. There are positives from the season, right?
Yeah, if you pick up a trophy, of course there's a positive. They finished second in the league, so they're back in the Champions League again, and they've got it all to prove to everybody again. And I don't see them messing up with that. I think they'll come out firing, and everybody needs to be aware of what's coming next season.
If we're looking ahead then to next season, and this is a question for you both, but I'll begin with you, Richard. And so what do you think maybe needs tweaking for us to come back bigger, better and stronger, and maybe see, hopefully, us go further in the Champions League next year?
I think it's difficult. I think this season we've seen the breakout of Phil Foden. He's really come to the fore, and I think he'll have a more prominent role in the team next season. And just having that little bit of creativity again. Maybe we're missing that a little bit tonight. And I think City aren't a million miles away. You know, you talk about fine margins, and they're not miles away from winning the Champions League. And it is a case of, on the day they got beat by Lyon, another day they could have beat them. They could beat Bayern Munich. They could beat everyone. So you just need that bit of luck as well.
It's such a quick turnaround before next season. We've only got a few weeks, the second week of September, when it all kicks off again. So this City team are going to have to regroup, refocus quite quickly, because it's coming round thick and fast, Sean.
Yeah, I almost think that would be good for them, because when Dunne will tell you, when we used to play, if we had a bad result, we'd want to get to the next game and get rid of it straight away. So it won't have to hang over us, or we just focus on the next game in hand. And I think the turnaround of the season is going to help that. I think they go and spend the time they deserve with their families for a few weeks and come back in ready to go again, and to show people what they're really capable of.
It's kind of a negative and a positive, but if there's ever a team that's kind of got the mentality for that, it's this team. If you looked at the Tottenham game, you know, and the last few seasons under Pep, it's something that has happened quite a lot. So I do have the faith that we can turn it round. I've got a question, hopefully with a positive answer. We were all enjoying this Champions League knockout format, 90 minutes. If in another world we've got a second leg, would you fancy City to turn it around and do the business?
I'm going to say yeah. I think especially off the second half performance, I thought we completely controlled the game. And like Dunne said, when we got back to playing the way we did in the same system, although it left us a bit open, we seemed to create a little bit more chances. So I think if it was us coming back to the City Stadium now, I think, yeah, we'll turn it on.
Now we have to talk about David Silva. This could be, well, probably will be his last game in a Manchester City shirt. What a servant he's been to the club. He's achieved some incredible things, Richard, and it's maybe a sour note and a bit of a bittersweet note to end on, but we've got to look back at the last 10 years. They've been incredible, haven't they?
Yeah, tonight's an unfortunate ending to all, but what he's given the club for 10 years is incredible. You know, he's been a joy to watch. I think since he came into the Premier League, he's completely the opposite of what you would expect a Premier League midfielder to be. You know, you look back to see Vieira and people like that, and he's just on a different level to everyone. David Silva for the last decade, and it would have been great to see him walk off with the Champions League, but not to be.
Not to be, indeed. And Sean, we always like to spend 5 minutes, don't we, talking about David Silva. What are your thoughts on the man, the legend, the magician?
I'm hoping he decides to stay. To be honest.
That would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice.
As we kind of bring this season to an end, though, it has, you know, overall, it has had its down moments, but actually the football that has been played, it's always kind of been one that's been attractive on the eye. And I still feel that we're coming of age, and I think you said it earlier, Richard, in that we're on the up, but we're still not quite achieving our full potential yet, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is, and it sounds wrong now at this moment, having lost in the quarter-final, but sometimes them defeats and them losing the league by 18 points, that sort of hurts the players, and it'll bring them on more, and it'll encourage them, it will give them something to go for, to aim for next season, and they need to be hungry to go and win titles and win Champions Leagues, and they've got it now. They've gone a season without the Premier League, basically, without an FA Cup, again, without the Champions League, so we need it next year.
We definitely do, and I think if there's one man to command that of them, it is Pep Guardiola. We've had a behind-the-scenes access documentary series, which has shown just how hard that he does work them, and I have a feeling that this mini pre-season they might have going into next season, Sean, it's going to be lots of running, lots of hard work, because they're going to want to hit the ground running next season and really challenge Liverpool and prove that Liverpool are good, but Man City can be better than them.
Most definitely. I still think a lot of people forget how young the team is. Like, it's an average age of, I think, 25, around that. Like, it's a very young team. So most teams that you would say win the Champions League have a lot of mature, very, very experienced players in that area. And I think all these defeats, like Dunne said, it's hurting them. So they're learning, they're gaining experience of being in bad situations where they have to change it. So I think it's only going to spur them on.
And we've also got to look forward to seeing 2 new acquisitions already for the club. 2 young players again, Nathan Ake and Torres, who we signed from Valencia. So I guess actually more new blood, more new energy. It can only kind of push the players that are currently in the team. Does it have that positive effect when new players come in?
Yeah, most definitely, because it's about fighting for your place, isn't it? So really, everyone's got to bring their A game, because they don't really want to sit on the bench. So it's always a competition, and a healthy competition is a good thing.
It definitely is, and I think someone that's had healthy competition was Phil Foden, and I'm guessing that this next season for him is going to be special because he can really cement a place in this first team and can show the world what he's capable of, and international-wise as well. He's got so much possibilities, and this season's a huge one for him, Richard.
Yeah, he's been brilliant this season. You know, he's really come through and really not being I suppose a squad player, one for the future that everyone talked about. I think now he's one for now. He's ready to go, and next season's a big year for him. He'll have more responsibilities, and yeah, we hope to see the best of him, certainly for City next year.
Now, there's another person that we've not even touched on yet, Kevin De Bruyne, the Etihad player of the season. Kel, it's been an absolute joy to watch him this season, and he looked frustrated tonight, let's be honest, because he is a winner, he is a leader, and I think moving forward, he is going to be the one that maybe drives this team onto some success, Sean. Kevin De Bruyne, a word on him this season?
He's been a revelation for attackers in general. Like the ball he put in today with the outside of his boot, like
outrageous.
Most people wouldn't even try, they wouldn't even contemplate.
Cancelo tried it, didn't he?
You know what I mean? He thinks, and what he sees he does, and most people see it but don't do it. So for me, as an attacker, you would love to have that sort of player behind you. You just need to be in the right position.
There was also something you said just before the game, Richard, about when we were talking about captaincy, and you know, you all have it in you, but you need it brought out of you, and I feel we're actually really seeing that from Kev. Of course, he got the armband from Fernandinho when he went off, so he definitely feels like he could be one of our captains. Is already, but in a more prominent role next season.
Yeah, I would imagine so. He's you can see the desire in him. He wants to win every game. He wants to win every tackle. He wants people to be at the top of their game all the time, and it's probably not something that he'd had when he was younger, but it seems to be coming, as you say, coming out of him, and it's what better player to lead the club than someone like him?
Than KDB. And speaking of the man, we have got some positive news, because you might remember on our last show, and We're Not Really Here, we were giving you the chance to win this signed Kevin De Bruyne shirt. It is the brand new away shirt, signed by our Etihad player of the season, and we have got a winner. I'm just going to get the name from it. It's Wesley
Ferreira
in Brazil, I believe, in Sao Paulo. So Wesley, if you're watching, the signed KDB shirt will be on its way over to you, and I think rightly so that he is Etihad player of the season.
Definitely, and what an incredible player he's been this season, but he's also got the attribute where he can pick up a game, and we nearly saw it tonight where we're behind and we need someone who's going to grab the game by the scruff of its neck, and it is Kevin De Bruyne. I think someone possibly leading the line, someone that's just playing week in, week out with that much ferocious energy, I'm going to call it. It really commands the respect of everyone who's watching him, and I think having that is really special, and I'm just hoping that we do hit the ground running, Kel, and next season, you know, we'll be back, we'll be smiling, we'll be positive, it won't all be doom and gloom, we'll be back stronger, and I'm really looking forward to it.
No, absolutely clean slate. And a word as well, do you know what, I saw a little clip there of Jesus when he was coming off, and my heart just goes out to him, because you know, when you can really see that someone who has left everything on the pitch, Gabriel Jesus was that. So I don't think there's any question of that the players there left everything out there for us, did they, Richard?
Well, that's it. It means as much to them as it does to any fan. You know, they're desperate to win that Champions League, and it hurts them. But like I say, you take positives out of negatives, and you have to take that hurt and turn it into victory next year.
Well, that is what we're going to do, and we can say that we're going to be with you every step of the way, watching our boys just do that. So We're Not Really Here is going to be with you for the whole of next season, which I'm so delighted to tell you about, and hope you'll join us every step of the way. And we're going to be joined by brilliant guests like Shaun Wright-Phillips. You'll come back, won't you, Sean? Yeah, Richard.
Look how deep you're thinking there.
Richard, will you come back? Yeah.
Bad luck. So I don't know.
No, really. I'm going to be like that. We're not really here with just me.
Yeah.
On my own, talking to myself about City.
You can enjoy that 38-course meal next season.
Hey, there we go.
You can enjoy that one right there.
But Carl, you'll be with me, right?
I'm not decided yet. Maybe we'll all just leave you to it. Who knows?
But it has been an absolute joy and a privilege to bring you We're Not Really Here. We're so excited to do it next season. Of course, not the result we all wanted, but clean slate next year, and we'll hopefully be turning things around. Shaun Wright-Phillips, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Richard Dunne, thank you very much. And Kyle Walker, thank you.
Thank you, Kel, as well.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you to you guys for tuning in. Follow all our socials, and second week in September is when we'll be back. Clean slate, we go again. Enjoy the rest of your August. See you soon.
The season started with so much hope, so much promise. We saw glimpses of the magical, the magnificent. Momentum was building, another glittering prize already won. We had so much still to play for. And then the season stopped. Everything, everywhere, stopped. Time stood still. But so many stood strong. Our support turned to those on the front line. We missed family. We missed friends. We missed our city. But slowly, step by step, they began to come back. Ready to go, switched on, focused. Some things will have to be different. Some things never change. Because right now, we're not really here. But for this team, for this club, for this badge, for this city, wherever we are, we'll always be there.